welcome to this all-new episode of the Fairfax Sports Report. I'm your host, Monica Moore, and we have a great episode for you today. If you are a fan of all the video clips that we have of interviews with all of the different wonderful student athletes from around the region, you are going to love tonight's program because we have tons of footage from both the Northern Region Swim Championships and the Northern Region Indoor Track Championships. But before we get to all of that, we want to thank the folks that helped make this program possible, our good friends at CCI Screen Printing for all of your screen printing needs. Also want to remind you that you can get copies of all of the games that we broadcast as well as episodes of this program at www.pressboxvideo.com. And don't forget to check out our website. We have news and notes from around the region as well as our video vault footage that you can see, and I have been informed that it has been updated with tons of new clips today, so go ahead and check that out at www.fairfaxsportsnetwork.com. Finally, don't forget that we are on Facebook, so if you are on Facebook as well, become a fan of the Fairfax Sports Network. Well, I am delighted to be joined in the studio today by the head coach of the Robinson Swim and Dive team, Coach Tom Kucherave. Coach, welcome.
Hey,
and congratulations. You guys had a fantastic weekend at the state championships.
It was pretty insane.
Well, now, I know the girls had a pretty dominant season at the Northern Region Championships. They were pretty dominant. So what did you say to them heading into the state championships to help motivate them?
I told them that they set themselves up really well after regions, and they had a lot of top seeds coming in. So I just said, set yourself up well. And I mean, meets aren't won in finals, they're won at prelims. And I said they have to swim their guts out in prelims to set themselves up to win. And then once you get to finals of states, you just take care of business and you can win. And they set themselves up perfect in the morning, and they took care of business at night.
Now, the guys had a little bit of a different situation because on the one hand, they are the defending state champions for the past 7 years.
Yeah.
On the other hand, they came in second at regions by I think 1.5 points, something like that. So what did you say to them? That must have been a little disappointing at regions, and then to come back and win at states as convincing as they did.
Well, the beginning of the year, there was a lot of doubt put in our team because we lost so many great athletes. But I mean, we also had a number of good athletes coming back. It just wasn't as strong. There wasn't as big of a cushion as there's been in the past. I think what set us back in regions was at districts. We had an athlete on the diving end who's supposed to rank high. He ended up hitting the board, and that lost out on a good number of points and just silly mistakes. So it definitely kind of came as a shock at regions because it came down to the wire, and it didn't turn out as well as we hoped. And then 1.5 is practically nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So coming into states, they were a little bit down, but we just told them, if you take care of business and everyone's in the game, it's anyone's ballpark. We scored out the meet before states had even started, and we could still win the meet, or it'd be an extremely close meet. We just had to stick to what we needed to do, and if we didn't, then it's someone else can take the title. And the guys did a great job setting themselves up, and the opportunity arose, and they took it. So.
One athlete who I thought had both exceptional performances at both regions and at states was Amanda Kendall. She set a region record or 2 region records at the region meet. She had a state record, and I think she had 40 total points at regionals. What are some of the things that you think make her such a dynamic athlete?
She's a very dominating kind of person, in and out of the pool. She's always been competitive. She actually lives in I live in the neighborhood where Robinson is, and I've known her since she was younger, and she's just always been that way. It's just, it's just the kind of personality and mindset that she is. It's great for an athlete, and she just works really well. You ask her to do something, and she'll do it. And there's some kids it's a little hard to work with her. You just tell her what you need, and she'll do it. And she's just a very versatile athlete, and everything's just in her favor. It's really great for her.
Now, I know that a lot of people talk about Amanda because she has been such a dominating athlete, but there are so many young women on that team that had dynamic performances at states. Can you talk about some of the other women that had such a great day?
Madison Rupp is really great. She trains heavy, and some kids, they train year-round, but they're not as serious, and she's a very serious athlete, and she does a great job, and you ask her to step up, and she'll step up. It's just that sort of difference with some kids. We have a freshman, Rachel Canty. She's really great, and each meet she just kept breaking her time and getting closer and closer, and she broke some team records, and believe she made an All-American consideration. I think she might have missed it barely. I forget off the top of my head. I know one of the meets she barely missed it. And Laura Finelli's great in the backstroke, and Finelli's have been on that team for a while. They're actually on the team when I was younger. So it's just really cool. They're great kids.
Now, in terms of the guys, I know they started one of the meets. One of the events I think they started out with was the 200 medley relay, and I think in that event, I read that Oakton got disqualified because of some reason. What happened in that? And then you guys got that early on. How did that contribute to the rest of your performance in the meet?
The meet was scored out after, if everyone went the same times as regions, and I think we were probably supposed to lose by a couple of points, and just happened to be that Oakton DQ'd the relay, which gave us an opportunity, gave us a 40-point buffer ahead of them because we got second in that relay. And from there, it just seemed like our confidence went up because, we have this huge cushion, and that's enough points to get, to put us ahead that, we can run with it and still win the meet even at the beginning. And everyone took care of business after that. And it just seemed like after Oakton DQ'd that relay, their spirits went down. A lot of their swims weren't as spectacular as they have been in the past couple meets. And our team just ran with it, and they kind of went downhill, and it was just great. I mean, after the meet was scored, we won by 52 points. Regardless of that relay, we still would have won by 12. So it was just great. I just kind of wish it didn't take a relay for our kids to get fired up. So.
Now, we talk a lot about the swimmers, and sometimes I feel a little bit like diving gets a bit overlooked.
Yeah, well, diving does get overlooked. I mean, you can have a diver get first place in an event, but you have a swimmer take 2 first places, and it's more points on an individual basis. But, some teams are strong, but they have no diving, and it's just easy points, and we happen to be blessed with that too.
You had Corey Bowersox, who won the state championship in the 100 meters. Can you talk a little bit about him?
Yeah.
I know you're not a diver, but
we didn't have a dive coach, but I had to hang out with all the divers for every practice just to supervise them. We had tryouts, and all I kept hearing about was this freshman that's coming up that was really great. And we showed up for tryouts, and everyone's doing the sort of standard dives, and this kid's doing twice as many flips as everybody and things like that. And he's just he works really hard, and it's really hard to satisfy him when it comes to scores or, in practice. He just wants more. And, to be that young and talented, it's really great for him. It's cool to see that. And we had him go into regions, and he got beat by just a little bit, and it definitely bummed him out, but he came back for states and just rallied, and he's great.
Now, in sports, people talk a lot about tradition, and they talk about dynasties.
Yeah.
Robinson's men's team has won, I think, is it the past 7 or 8 state championships?
This is our 7th now.
State championships. And, of course, I know you were on the first team, and now you're back. This is your first year as a head coach. Can you talk a little bit about what you think it is that makes this program so good year after year?
I think you have to have a great coaching staff. What helps our team and some of the other teams in the area is we're one of the biggest schools in the area. And our area is saturated by team like club swimming, and we just happen to have a lot of club swimming in our area, and we just happen to be the biggest school. And I mean, it's crappy to say that it's partially location, which it is, but you can have great swimmers, but if they don't do what you ask, or it can't get done. I just think I'm blessed with great coaches that worked with me, and we're just in Northern Swimming is a very dominant area, and we just have a lot of great swimmers that happen to be going to our school. It's great.
Now, I read an article earlier in the year of some of your athletes saying that your practices are actually harder than your predecessor, Coach Gordon. What is it that you think makes your practices harder? And obviously, your athletes have been very receptive.
I don't really think that anyone's safe in practice. I think that everyone should be set to a level of challenge, and I think me and my coaches do a good job with that. You can't set a standard sort of workout for everybody. It'll be challenging to your lower half of swimmers, but easy to your upper half. You need to, I think, have an equal level of challenge. And I'm just of the mind that you should swim fast, and at the same time you need to be holding technique, while some people just kind of give you a set and let you go. And I don't know how Mr. Gordon held his sets or he did his practices, but I'm just of the mind that you pound technique while going fast, and I think we did a lot of that, and it was just very focused on stroke, and there's a lot to think about. It's easy to just not think while you practice, and I'm of the mind that you should stick to, you should be thinking the whole time while you're doing things. So I guess it's a little more challenging for some.
And a lot of people, I think, are making a big deal. I mean, you're a first-year head coach. Both of your teams win the state championships. And on the one hand, people might say, well, this program is dominant year after year. But as you alluded to earlier in the interview, you guys lost a lot of talent. What were your goals coming into the season? And were these the expectations of the team?
I mean, it's really hard coming on a team where you have huge shoes to fill, like Mr. Gordon had set. And, you have people from the start tell you, oh, well, Robinson's guys aren't going to win. And, it's kind of hard to come into a team and you're already told, well, you're not going to win. And it's just kind of in the back of my head, I don't like being told that. And, we may not win, but at least we put everything towards doing it right. So it's just a matter of, setting out a plan and sticking to your plan. And, I don't know. Some people had a really good time this season. Some I don't think had as much fun because, you want to have fun, but at the same time, we have a very serious, high-level goal to attain to. And I was just all about sticking to the plan. It might have not been as pleasant or as fun as, some kids wanted, but we were sticking to what we said we wanted to do. And when people say, I want to win states, I'll hold you to that. And all of our coaches did that. And,
and certainly maybe some people thought it was not as much fun or whatever, but to me, I would think having someone come in as my first-year head coach who'd be the first-year coach
it's definitely really hard because you're used to the traditions for the last 6 years. For a while, my coach, when I was on Robinson, was Tracy, and Gordon was the assistant coach, and it was just easier for him to pick up the traditions. I mean, I was on the team for 4 years, but a lot has changed because the year I won, we won states, and then from there it built up, and there's just a lot of things. So I came on this team with some things I remember being on the team, and there's a lot that was new to it, and it was a lot to think about and do, and there's definitely a lot of things I left out, but some things I felt like were important to bring back, and some things were extraneous, and you just should need that. So I don't know. It was kind of a shock to some kids because it wasn't that easy, sort of reliable, sort of plan of how the meets and practices and things like that were going. I had my own way of doing things, and that's how I wanted it to be done.
Well, and certainly I think it must have helped that you had won a state championship while you're at Robinson, and obviously had a great college career as well. So how do you think that the fact that you have stood in their shoes and you succeeded at that level might have influenced them?
I think having my background with both the team and in college definitely gave a lot of respect on the higher end of kids. Just coming into it, I felt like I had the credentials. The one thing I think I lacked that made me very paranoid was the experience. I've been an assistant coach for a lot of places, and it was just more of a making sure I could organize and take care of business well, and I just set it up well, and we had great coaches to, take care of things, and anything I was lacking or forgetting, because I easily forget small details, they took care of it for me. So it was great.
Well, Coach, again, it's such a phenomenal achievement having both of your teams win the state championship.
I didn't know it was going to turn out. It's awesome. Yeah, thank you so much.
And thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it.
All right. Well, when we come back, we will have more highlights from the Northern Region Swim Meet. Welcome back to the Fairfax Sports Report. Well, as promised, I told you we had a lot of video footage from the Northern Region Swim Meet. We have some highlights of the athletes who had amazing days, so we're going to show you some of the best from the Northern Region Championships.
Winner of the boys 100-yard butterfly, Sean Fletcher, for the second year in a row. Compare last year's victory with this year's victory.
I think it's a little bit better. It's my senior year, and it's nice to go out with a win, I guess. So I'm real happy with it.
Take us through that race, what you were thinking, how it was going.
First 50 was pretty easy. I felt pretty good, but towards the last lap, my legs started to go from that IM. So I just tried to hold on, and everything worked out. So I was happy.
Your second win of this meet, second year in a row you won this 100 fly. How's that make you feel?
It feels great. I guess it means I'm improving, so I'm happy.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Rachel Burnett, winner of the girls 200-yard freestyle, Annandale High School. Compare last night's swim prelims to tonight.
I was way more nervous for this one. You know, there was a better competition going into it. It's all fast, great girls, and all the people just way more pumped up for this one.
Kind of take us through this 200 here tonight, how it went for you.
It was good. I felt really relaxed on my start, and second 100 just went after it as hard as I could. So finished strong and was really tiring.
Thanks. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Winner of the girls 100-yard freestyle, Amanda Kendall, your second victory of this meet. So far, so good.
Yeah, I feel pretty good right now. Tired, but good.
Also, you defended your Northern Region crown in this event from last year. Compare those two races for us, last year and now this year.
I think I've gotten a lot stronger since last year, so I've learned how to swim the race a lot differently since last year, so it turned out a little better.
For example?
I now can sprint the whole thing. I used to not be able to sprint it, so now it's just a all-out sprint now.
Take us through this race here tonight. You looked great. You're out in control at the end of the first 50.
I want to be on the wall first, just like on the 50, and I hurt going into that last wall, but I knew I had it to hold on, so just kicked in.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oakton High School, new region record, 200 free. How'd you feel?
I felt great. I'm really happy with that swim.
What did you want to take it out in, and how did all that work out for you?
Well, last night I took it out a little bit easier, so that was my main goal today, to get out after it a lot quicker. So try to anywhere close to 50, maybe under 50. Still don't know what I went out in, but
everybody was pretty close to you for about 100, and then you just pulled away.
Right, I'm more of a distance guy, so I tend to be able to have a stronger second half of my races, so it's one of my strengths.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks. Winner of the girls 100-yard butterfly, Caitlin Polowitz, your second win tonight. Meet's going pretty well so far.
Yeah, I was excited for this race. I was just trying my hardest. It's not my best event, but definitely happy that I won.
Take us through that race. What you're thinking? You were behind until the last 10 yards.
Well, I didn't want to get second place. I was like, you have to win, you have to win, you have to win. So I just tried my hardest to be the first person to the wall.
How'd you feel?
Felt better than the 200 IM. So that was good.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Winner of the boys 100-yard backstroke, Michael Halleck, defending your crown from last year. Compare the two races, last year and this year.
Well, last year I wasn't expecting it at all. I was just out of the blue. This year, I knew what I had to do. I knew what I should have done. So I went out and I did what I had to do.
Now you already won the 100 free tonight. Which of those two races do you like?
The backstroke has definitely always been my favorite event. It's just easy for me just to be able to breathe whenever I want and everything else.
Two-time Northern Region champ. How's that make you feel?
Awesome. Like, whatever I can do to help my team. We're trying to beat Robinson this year, and I hope we can do it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Winner of the girls 100-yard breaststroke, Ellen Baumgartner of Fairfax. Take us through that race.
Well, I went out. I was trying to go as fast as I could. I really wanted to break 102, but I think they told me I went 102.1. So, I mean, I'm still pretty happy. I have states next week to go even faster.
Talk a little bit about what it's been like to be part of this Fairfax girls swim team that's been so successful the last few years.
It's been really great. When I came in my freshman year, I mean, we were the underdogs, and every single year we've gotten better and better. We won regionals the past 3 years, and last year we won state, so it's just been really great.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So there you have it. Lots of fantastic performances at the Northern Region Championship. And then, as you just heard, Robinson, of course, bringing home the crown in both the boys and girls championships at the state championships held this past weekend. So swimming is over for the region this year, but Robinson, of course, has continued to be dominant in boys swimming. We'll see if next year they're able to defend the girls' crown as well. Well, we are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, as promised, we'll have some of that footage from last weekend's Northern Region Indoor Track Championships. Welcome back to the Fairfax Sports Report. Well, I promised you those indoor track clips, but before we get to that, we actually dug out one more swimming clip for you so you could see one of the Fairfax relay team's exciting moment after winning their event. Well, actually, sorry about that. We're having a little bit of a technical difficulty with that, but congratulations to the Fairfax's 200-yard freestyle girls relay team. Hopefully we'll be able to have that for you before the end of the program. However, as I said, this weekend I was able to go to the Northern Region Indoor Track Championships. As you know, I followed indoor track a lot throughout this year and last year. It's one of my favorite sports, and we have so many dynamic athletes in the region. Among them, Lay Degfei from Edison, who is competing. I talked to his coach a couple of weeks ago and told you that he was at the Foot Locker Nationals competing a couple of weeks ago, and a lot of other athletes in the region. So hopefully we'll be able to now show you some clips from that event this past weekend at George Mason's indoor track.
Joey Muzio of the Robinson Indoor Track Team. Now, Joey, you won the high jump today. How did that feel?
It felt really good.
Were there specific things you were working on coming into this event?
Yes, my run, my flop, just keep down my technique, make sure everything was very consistent.
What have been the highlights of the season so far for you?
Getting a state qualifier, the first meet, breaking the school record of 6'4" and a quarter, milestones at a time.
And of course, that record was held by your father. Did that have special significance for you?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
How has your dad helped you with your training so far?
He helps me because, like, we used to train over the summer, and he knows, like, what to do, what technique and stuff like that.
You've already reached so many milestones. You're only a sophomore at Robinson. What are any future goals that you might have?
To get the outdoor school record and to break his PR.
Well, best of luck to you.
Thank you.
I'm standing here with Lee Degfei of the Edison High School Indoor Track Team. Now, Lee, you're participating in several events today. What are you participating in?
I'm doing the mile and 2 mile today.
Of the two, which is your favorite?
I gotta say the mile.
Why is that?
It's shorter. The 2 miles is just too long. It's just too long for me.
Who do you expect to be your biggest competition today?
Actually, my friend Jared Berman. We trained together over the summer, and he's my competition for a mile. And also Christopher Foley. He's from Chantilly. We went to camp together, and he's also my competition, the 2 mile. So both of my friends are, I guess, my rivals.
You've achieved so much in your career at Edison. What have been some of the highlights for you?
Well, biggest highlight I could remember right now is the Foot Locker Nationals, and that was just a good experience, amazing experience actually. I never thought I would ever make it there, but I know hard training got me there, and for indoor it has to be the Montgomery Mile. I never thought I would go under 420 this year because I don't know, my training after cross country wasn't, really that good. Then when Montgomery came, I hit a 415 or 416. Then that just started everything. College coaches started calling me and everything, so it's been nice.
And of course, you've talked about some of your competition, Chris Foley, of course, Jared Berman. You also have had some competition in your career from your brother, but I know he's also someone great to train against. Can you talk a little bit about what it's been like to work with him all these years?
I think I won't be here without him. He's just been pushing me like almost all year, but he's been injured most of the year, so I had to run by myself. But now he's back, so we're training together. So I just want to see what's going to happen today from that training.
Well, best of luck in your events today.
Thank you.
I'm standing here with Wes Sun of the Chantilly indoor track team. Now, Wes, what events will you be competing in today?
I'll be competing in the pole vault, and depending on my hamstring, I might do the hurdles also.
How did you hurt your hamstring earlier this season?
At districts, I did 5 events, and it was triple jump on the last day of districts that really hurt it. So.
Is it hard competing in so many events in the same day?
It really is, but I just want to help the team out and hopefully get as many points as possible. So.
What were the highlights of districts for your team?
Everyone really stepped it up, and we got a lot of points where that we weren't supposed to, and we just did a lot better than we should have. It was really good.
Are there specific things you've been focusing on coming into the events today?
Mainly pole vault. I want to try to break the meet record hopefully today, so I've been working on that.
Who do you expect to be your biggest competition in pole vault?
Probably David Fishman from Lake Braddock. He's been getting really good, and it's only his second season. He's really good this year.
Wes, best of luck today.
Thank you.
I'm standing here with Lyanna Epstein of the Lake Braddock indoor track team. Now, Lyanna, you have several things on tap today for you to participate in. What are the big events you have today?
I have the 1,600 meter run, the 1,000, and the 4x4 relay.
Which is your favorite of the events you participate in?
Probably the mile, but I like everything. So.
Now, you had a huge highlight in your career earlier this season when you broke your school record. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Well, last year I ran pretty well at states. I got 4th in the 1,000 and 4th in the mile, and my PR was 3:01. But I've been training hard all summer through cross country and then through track, and breaking 3 was a big milestone for me, and it's something that I've wanted for a long time. So I was really happy when everything just came together.
Are there specific things you've been working on or trying to improve upon coming into regionals today?
I mean, I've done all the work and all the training is there, so the hardest part really is just getting my mind in the right place and just being able to focus and just go out there and do my best.
And who do you think will be your biggest competition today?
Well, we have a really good region for distance running. So, I mean, there's Paige Kavartunas from West Springfield and Kelly Kavanaugh from Robinson. And, I mean, it's going to be a challenge, so we'll see what happens.
Well, best of luck today.
Thank you.
I'm standing here with Brittany Johnson of the Marshall indoor track team. She's already placed second in the long jump today. She's currently participating in the high jump. Brittany, what was going through your mind as you were competing in the long jump?
I just wanted to hit 17 feet. Unfortunately, I didn't get it, but I mean, I'm going to states, so I hope to do better there.
And now in the high jump, what are the big things you're focusing on in this event?
I want a PR, at least get 5.6 at least today. So get at least, I guess, first I want to win. I'm really excited, so.
Now, of course, you participate in both the field events and the running events. What is your favorite event that you do?
Running-wise, 55. I love the 55.
And why is that?
I mean, I don't know, I love sprints, so, I mean, it's a good event, and I'm pretty good at it, so.
Were there big things you were focusing on coming into the event today?
I'm focusing on my block work is really bad, so I'm trying to get out the blocks fast enough to PR and get a 7, I hope 7.3 or 7.4.
And what's been the highlight of the season so far for you?
What can I say has been the highlight? Triple jump. I'm new to it, and actually I won districts, and I was really excited about that. And I'm like praying to get first today in triple jump experience.
Now, doing all of these events, does it get exhausting? Do you find by the end of the day you don't have a lot left in you?
Yes, very much so. Yes, very.
Well, best of luck today, Brittany.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Standing here with Becca Shoemaker of the Lake Braddock Indoor Track Team. Now, Becca, you are participating in several events today. What all is on slate for you?
I'm doing the pole vault, triple jump, and 4x2.
You've definitely made a name for yourself in the region in the pole vault. What are some of the things that you think makes you so good at that event?
Well, we get to practice like 2 times a week. Most teams don't really get to, so that really helps a lot.
Are there specific things you're focusing on today in that event?
Just to work on my form a lot and think about what I'm doing and stuff.
What have been the highlights of the season so far for you?
Probably the Patriot District and like FIT meets and stuff.
Who do you expect to be your biggest competition today?
Probably the Chantilly girls and the West Potomac girls.
Now, I know your team has been saddled by injuries, pretty unfortunate in the postseason. How are you guys coping with that?
Oh, we're doing good. We always have like people to back up everyone, so we're always on top of things.
Well, Becca, best of luck today.
Thank you.
I'm standing here with Mara Goss and Nicole Brown, who just had very awesome competitions in the shot put. Now, Mara, what was going through your mind as you were competing?
Don't mess up. I really wanted to take second. My goals today were to take second and to PR. I unfortunately didn't get to PR, but I did get to take second. So,
Are there big things that you've been focusing on this year to improve?
well, I overcame a pretty severe knee injury last year, so getting stronger and just perfecting the technique was really what I was trying to do. So.
Now, Nicole, this is your first year competing in indoor track. What made you want to come out for the indoor track team?
Well, mainly I wanted to come out to try and train for lacrosse season, actually, to try and get faster. And then I started to do all these other events that I thought were really interesting, like jumps and shot put. And it was really unexpected, the results. So.
Did you ever think you would place third at regionals when you started the season?
No way. I think Mira kind of pushed me because she always said that I couldn't beat her, so I didn't, but came close.
Now, I understand one of the reasons you have such a strong shot putting program over at Marshall is because of the coaching staff. Can you talk a little bit about your shot putting coach?
Yeah, Coach Petilla is a really good coach. He's really helped me on my form especially, and a lot of other things as well.
Now, Mara, I know you're only a junior, but how do you view your role as helping the other competitors on the team? I know shot put's something you've been doing for a while.
Well, I try to help everybody. I mean, as Nicole said, I told her she couldn't beat me. That was the rule. She can get as close as she wants. She just can't beat me. Portillo, I mean, he's awesome, but he is only one set of eyes. I try to help from a player's perspective to try to help them know how to handle the stress and the competition. And I just try to be second helping hand while also perfecting my technique and performance.
Well, congratulations to you both. I know Coach Wong very happy with your performance. Gleason, the head coach of the Robinson Indoor Track Team. Now, Coach, your team is having an amazing season so far. Obviously, the Concord District Championships went very well. What were some of the highlights of that event for your team?
The highlight for us probably was our consistency. We had several people come up big when they had to on both the boys and the girls side. We won our boys championship, and that's historic for Robinson because it was our very first indoor track and field district championship in school history. Our girls were the runner-up, and had we been completely healthy, we probably would have doubled that and been a double district champion. But we're healthy this weekend with both groups, and we just won the boys regional championship in the high jump, so we're off to a good start.
Now, who have been some of the athletes on your team that you've been very impressed with their performance and their consistency this year?
The consistency has been pretty much across the board, but I could start with our distance group. Kelly Kavanaugh on our girls' side and Jared Berman. They are our seniors. They are people who have led us, not just by example, but by hard work for all the years they put into it. We have a lot of young talent. We have a freshman in Gina Marie McCant. She's ranked #1 in the state right now, and she's ranked, I think, in the top 3 or 4 nationally in the 500-meter dash. I have a bevy of juniors who actually are multi-sport athletes. They actually play soccer in the spring, but they've been here for 3 years. So we have several athletes like Audrey Berry, Allie Heck, Jensen Smith, who are a big reason why we're ranked #1 in so many events. Relays and the 500 and the 300, we actually have a lot more depth because of them.
And, of course, no doubt why you win state championships in soccer as well.
Yeah, this is evident. I went out to a couple of their playoff games last year, and you could see the difference between the girls that I coach in the sprints. I'm very proud of them because you could just see the level of play was different with them. They could compete at a different level. They're just so much faster than most of their competition.
Now, were there particular things you were stressing coming into this meet today that you wanted your team to work on or focus on?
A couple things. One was getting healthy again. We lost Gina Marie for the district meet due to an injury she suffered at the end of the Virginia Tech Invitational. When she posted that time, she actually rolled her ankle as well at the finish line, and she was out for the whole district meet. And I know she was disappointed. And the team, they just haven't let off the pedal, but the health was the main thing. We need to make sure everybody was healthy. Kelly Kavanaugh was actually very sick at the district meet and had a great meet. So crossing our fingers, we're very healthy on both the boys and the girls side right now. And I think what we've really stressed in the last couple weeks, we've had some time to get ready for the regional meet, was making sure that everybody was willing to do what it took for a team effort. And I think that we've gotten that. We've gotten kids that are very prepared to run multiple events today, very tough doubles and triples. We've got field event performers who know that they have the ability to step up. We have alternates on relays that are ready. They will be ready today. If we call on them, they have been training very, very hard. And this goes all the way down to our freshman level. I have literally talented youngsters that have never done the sport before that if I call on them, they will perform very well today if given the chance.
Now, obviously, the Northern Region has a lot of talent across the schools. Who are some athletes from some of the other schools that you expect to have big days today?
You know, the Lake Braddock crew, I just think across the board, they're a little banged up maybe right now, but I know that their distance crew is somewhat intact, and they have great athletes. Santano on their boys' side, he's a multi-sport star. The young lady, or actually the senior from TC Williams, Tanita Butts, she's a phenomenal athlete. There are a lot of great athletes out there, and we've really, I think, as a region, have worked very hard over many, many years to get better and better, and I think that shows up. Every once in a while we'll have a down cycle, but it's not because of a lack of effort. It's just, it's just a part of a cycle of any sports programs, whether it's football or baseball or track.
Well, Coach, best of luck to your teams today.
Thank you very much.
And there at South Lakes winning the boys championship. Vincent Brown had an amazing event. He carried his team on his back. They finished with 59.5 points to edge out Edison with the Degfay brothers. Of course, T. Degfay was back for the meet, did a very exceptional job. Chantilly with Wes Sun, who set a meet record in the pole vault, as you just saw, and then Robinson finishing in 4th place. Now for the girls, it was Robinson coming out on top. They have been dominant all year, had a very good meet. As you see, their 71 points blew away the competition, but Herndon coming in 2nd. And then that injured Lake Braddock team, you saw that I spoke with a couple of their athletes, tying for 3rd place with TC Williams. TC Williams, of course, led by the incomparable Tanita Butts. So there you have it. That's what happened at this past weekend's Northern Region Indoor Track Championships. When we come back, we'll have a little more swimming as promised, and then a lot of basketball. Welcome back to the Fairfax Sports Report. Now, as promised, we do have that clip for you from the Northern Region Swim Championships, that Fairfax relay team led by Teresa Harvey and Frankie Dowd.
Fairfax Rebels, winners of the girls 200 free relay, a relay consisting of
Ellen Baumgartner, Frankie Dowd, Jean Ellis, Teresa Harvey.
All right, each one of you, take us through your leg. Tell us what was going on.
I was basically just trying to stay ahead of the girls next to me and swim as fast as I could for my team.
I basically knew I had to keep the lead, get it bigger.
By the time it got to me, we were looking for that record. We had the district and state, so this was the last one.
Yeah, and I knew that all I had to do was bring it home, and that's what I was focusing on.
You guys have been together for a while, right?
Yeah, this is our 4th year. We've been together since freshman year, so it's amazing. I love us.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So there you see it, the Fairfax relay team, and I've talked a lot about Teresa Harvey and Frankie Dowd on this program. Those young ladies have been huge for Fairfax, coming up big at both the Northern Region meet and of course the state championship. Well, as the basketball fans in the region know, there is a lot of basketball going on tonight. The Northern Region Championships are getting underway with some of the preliminary games, but we've been out in the region with some footage from some of the earlier matchups, so we're going to take you through some of the games that have happened in the past 2 weeks, starting off with Herndon. It's senior night at Westfield at the Dog Pound. You see Westfield seniors really trying to make a statement. Chris Kearney, who has been outstanding all year long for his team, but number 15 for Herndon, Isaac Johnson, he was our player of the game. He had such a huge night for Herndon. He's been doing it all season long. Huge battle between the seniors. You have Isaac Johnson, big block from Chris Kearney there. And then you see there the big three-pointer. That's Peter Scanlon, number 11 for the Bulldogs. Absolutely outstanding during his career for his team. Westfield definitely trying to hold off the Hornets. As I said, it was senior night, but Isaac Johnson, number 15 for the Hornets, would not let Westfield win this when they split in the season, which of course meant that there was a coin flip to determine seeding for the Concord District Championship, which was later won by Chantilly. But these two teams, two of the best in the Concord District, and you see our player of the game once again, Isaac Johnson. He has been dominant all year, been helped out by his teammates Randall and Nane, and of course the Hamiltons. You can't forget Marshall Hamilton and Austin Hamilton, both also having big game for the Hornets at this event. And a lot on the line, because not just that conference, or that district seeding for who was going to be in the second or third place, but of course senior night also weighing heavy on the hearts, I'm sure, of the Bulldogs. But Chris Kearney, first team Concord District, not surprising due to his efforts. And then Jacob Ryder, number 23, you see him there with the nice bucket. He had quite the hot hand, as well as Jay Jackson, number 3, and Peter Scanlon. So many seniors on this Bulldog team for Doug Ewell. You felt like they lost a lot last year with Mo Hubbard and Jamie Richardson and some of the others, but a lot of seniors yet again for Doug Ewell. The season not over for them yet, but certainly people probably wondering how it will shake out for them next year. Herndon winning 59-56. Now we have our player of the game, Isaac Johnson, as well as head coach Chris Whelan to talk about the big win.
I'm standing here with Isaac Johnson and Chris Whelan of the victorious Herndon Hornets. Now, Isaac, you and Randall hit some huge free throws in the fourth quarter. How big of an emphasis was that coming into this game?
We knew it was going to be tight coming down the stretch, so to maintain our lead, it was big that we made our free throws to seal the game, because missed free throws, that would have hurt us, and it was already close as it is, so if we missed maybe one or two more, then at the end they would have had a shot to win it.
Now, this was senior night for Westfield. How did it feel to beat them on their floor?
It felt good for us because last year they came to our house and beat us on senior night, and I seen the look on our seniors last year, and I just wanted to get one back for them.
Now, Coach, Westfield obviously upped the defensive pressure during the second half. How do you think your team responded?
We got rattled a little bit in the third quarter. They made a nice run, made a couple of nice shots. Kearney was a handful inside, and we kept our composure. You know, Isaac and Zach and Austin Hamilton and Marshall, they're all experienced players. So they kept their composure, and they went down the free throw line and made their shots.
Now, this game obviously had significant implications for the conference standings going into the tournament. Can you talk a little about that?
Well, it's a coin flip. So we still, second or third, Doug and I are happy to be in that second or third slot no matter what. So it really doesn't matter. We're going to get a home game next week, and then we're going to see Westfield again. So next Thursday, assuming everything goes planned and we win our first round games, we'll see each other again, and it'll be another battle.
Well, congratulations to you both tonight.
So there you have some highlights from the end of the regular season, which led us into the district tournaments. Of course, one of the ones going on last week was the Liberty District Tournament. We were there to see Langley take on Woodson. Langley had the hot hand in the beginning. They were outstanding. You saw Justice right there battling down low, and Danny Pritchett had a huge second quarter for his team. He has been outstanding in both football and basketball, but he had a hot hand for Langley during the first half. And Barrett Hunter, he's been on that varsity team for 4 years, people in the region, very used to seeing him. He's become synonymous with the Langley program, also having a good first half to get the Saxons started. Woodson having a bit of a slow start. Max Lennox was back for the Cavaliers. That was a huge emotional lift for them, but just could not help them overcome Derek Baker. You see him right there on your screen, number 41. He, of course, first team all-district, ended up being the district tournament MVP, having a great night. You see him taking a charge there, it looks like, or maybe that was in the yeah, it does look like a charge there. Langley took a lot of charges, something that you'll see in my upcoming interview with Travis Hess. I was very impressed with their defensive effort. Woodson just having such a struggle. Steven Stepka, though, the player of the year in the Liberty District, number 12, not having the night that he normally has. Langley, of course, threw some different defenses at him to try to shake him up a little bit. Thomas Cody there, one of those defenders that I'm talking about, he was first team all defense in the Liberty District. Langley there winning 52-36, probably not as close as some people thought that it would be. Derek Baker having the hot hand with 16 points. John Schoaf led the Cavaliers with 8. That's what happened when the boys played. Now, the girls also matched up on that same evening. South Lakes hosted the Liberty District Tournament Finals. The girls matchup also featured Langley, and they faced off against the Madison Warhawks. We'll show you what happened as they squared off. Madison had the momentum for most of the game, having a big night from a lot of their star players, and Danielle Landry, number 32, had a great event. And what was shocking is she broke her nose in their semifinal matchup against South Lakes. She started off the event wearing a face mask. She took it off early on. You see Audrey Dotson, that's who Danielle Landry battled with down in the post, number 55. Dotson has been the star player for Cheryl Buffo's Saxons all year long, but just could not battle Becca Speck, their number 44, and Dotson down low that evening. Rachel Warwick, number 20, you just saw her too for Langley. She's also been a star player for them. She had a very slow first half. She got hot during the second half for the Cavaliers. Kristen Kylo there, number 14, with the 3. There you see Rachel Warwick, number 20. As I said, she caught on fire during the second half, but it was too little, too late for Cheryl Buffo's Saxons. And there you see Erin Kavanaugh there. She's been another one who's been huge for the Kirsten Roberts' Warhawks all year long. You see Danielle Landry and Erin Kavanaugh both with 11 points. Langley was led by Warwick with 10 points. I got to catch up with Kirsten Roberts and Danielle Landry after the game to talk about the win.
I'm standing here with Kirsten Roberts, the head coach of the Madison Warhawks. Coach, congratulations, your first Liberty District tournament. Your team wins. What were you most pleased with about your team's performance tonight?
I think the defense, I think they played together as a team. I think Langley's a tough team to play against. They're very aggressive. I think we took some charges. We played in the spots we were supposed to do.
One player that really stepped up for you, I thought, was Anna Jay, only a sophomore. I thought she played very well defensively. Can you talk about her effort?
Yeah, Anna Jay has come a long way since the beginning of the season. She's learned her role. She's, next year she's going to be a little more offensively, but she's good at finding those shots and blocking shots. She told me a story about going to watch a college game. She's like, now I know what to do. I'm like, great.
It's always good to have those learning experiences.
Whatever it takes.
And of course, Danielle Landry, I thought, huge tonight. She had the injury, battling all night, and I thought a great game.
She showed a lot of hustle, a lot of heart. I was a little worried. She started the game with the mask on. She has a broken nose and didn't like the mask, so she took it off and played her heart off. So very proud of her.
Well, Coach, congratulations. Great game tonight.
Thanks for everything.
I'm standing here with our player of the game, Danielle Landry. Now, Danielle, you guys lost a lot of talent off last year's team. Some people might not have thought your team would be here tonight. You come out, you win the Liberty District Championship. How does it feel?
It feels amazing. I mean, we definitely told ourselves that we were going to be the underdogs, but we were no team to undermine and that we were going to come in and win it, and we did, so it feels great.
You were battling all night with Audrey Dotson down low. What was that like all night? It was a fierce battle.
I mean, she's a really good player, and we just had to try our best to shut her down and get in front, and we relied on our help defense as well. So together as a team, we just shut her down.
Now, I have to give you a lot of credit. I know you broke your nose against South Lakes during the semifinals. You took off the face mask. How was playing with the injury tonight?
I mean, it definitely hurt a lot, but I couldn't really see all I could with the face mask, so I had to take it off and just risk it. And I did get hit a few more times, but it was worth it to get the win.
Well, great game tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So there you see Danielle Landry, our player of the game. We've shown you what happened at the Liberty District Championships for both the boys and girls. Now we'll show you what happened at the other district championships. First of all, starting off with the boys, you see Chantilly defeating Westfield. Chantilly has been dominant all year long. A lot of people think they're the favorites to win the entire region, but you have to give a lot of credit to Doug Ewell's Westfield team. I think a lot of people underestimated them this year, but they have certainly been outstanding. Now for the Patriot District, perhaps no surprise there that T.C. Williams coming out the victors. Maybe some people might have thought Hayfield could have been there, but T.C. Williams also dominant this season. They lost so much, including Ivan Thomas, but have picked up right where they left off after last year's state championship performance. And then in the National District, one of the ones I followed closely, it was Mount Vernon edging out Stuart by 5 points. Now for the girls, we're going to show you the Oakton Girls. Not a huge shocker there in that they are undefeated, but that it was only a 2-point win over Westfield. Pat Deegan's Westfield Girls, a very strong team led by Shelby Romaine. In the Patriot District, Tierra Ruffin-Pratt's T.C. Williams Titans edging out West Springfield. Certainly, that might not have been a surprise as well. They got off to a rocky start this year, but certainly came on strong during the district and defeated West Springfield. And then finally, the National District girls, Mount Vernon also having a wonderful year, defeating Edison 49-31. So those were the end of the district tournaments. Of course, the Northern Region tournament got underway this past Monday night. Some upsets, including Lee defeating Herndon in boys basketball, Stuart defeating Herndon, Tony Harris's team having a great game, as well as Lee defeating the Langley Saxons. Well, that's it for us tonight at the Fairfax Sports Report. But before we go, again, we want to thank the folks that helped make this program possible, our good friends at CCI Screen Printing for all of your screen printing needs, 703-978-0257. And don't forget that you can get copies of this program and all of our games at www.pressboxvideo.com. Now on our website, if you liked all of those video clips that you saw on tonight's program, we have all of them and a lot more from past events that we've been at this year and years in the past. So check that out at www.fairfaxsportsnetwork.com. And don't forget to become our fan at Facebook if you are a fan of the Fairfax Sports Network. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll be back soon, but from us here, good night.